All right, we have a special guest today. We've got John Hogan, John T. Hogan, Deputy Chief of Marketing and Air Service Development at the Cleveland Airport System. Welcome, John. It's good to see you here. We got some big news here in Cleveland. I think for Clevelanders, sometimes we forget the actual name of the airport. It's Cleveland Hopkins International Airport.
That is correct. Yeah, Cleveland Hopkins International Airport is the official name of our major airport in Cleveland. Plus, we have our secondary airport, Burke Lakefront Airport, which is in downtown.
And international is what's in the news now. You've worked for many years to get a really big announcement that reinforces the international component of Hopkins. Tell us about that.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, this is the first transatlantic flight that we've had since 2018, when we had the summer of the Iceland carriers that visited Cleveland. COVID and some other issues, discontinue that service, but is hitting as close to mainland Europe as possible. Aer Lingus will start service, as you know, May 19th of next year, with 4 times a week service. And this is really a nice addition to, as I say, our route map of all the nonstop destinations that are available from Cleveland Hopkins. Transatlantic means that we're able to capture a larger amount of passengers that live in the Northeast Ohio area and actually provide them with very convenient service, not only to Dublin, but the connecting service that's going to be available to dozens of cities beyond Dublin all over Europe.
Paula from Aer Lingus was telling us about some of the benefits here, and you've had experience in airports all over the world, and I think you called Hopkins a manageable airport. It's kind of gonna make it an easy trip there with the check-ins and international things and all with Hopkins, right?
Oh, absolutely. Hopkins is a great airport. We're working on updating it with our new master plan that's going to be coming up in the near future. But as of an airport, like I said, it is quite manageable. Once you enter the terminal and go through security, you're pretty much 10 minutes from any point in the airport. And plus, we have a nice food court in the center of the airport, along with shops. No, it is a convenient experience that doesn't take a whole lot of time to navigate.
A lot of us, maybe we have a vacation or something, travel once a year, and maybe we'll fly somewhere. But maybe people don't realize just how many business travelers and travel to and from Europe, not specifically Ireland, but Europe to Cleveland. And there's a lot of rigmarole to get there. And now, about how many people travel internationally from Cleveland Hopkins?
Right now we're looking at about, we accommodate, prior to COVID, we accommodate about 10 million passengers annually, which is back to the dehubbing days of United Airlines. So we recovered quite nicely from the dehubbing of United Airlines back in 2014. Now with COVID, actually things have dropped, but we're pretty much back to about 9 million passengers this year and expect to be back at normal levels next year with 10 million. Looking at the business traveler though, leisure travel has definitely picked off since COVID. Business travel is coming back nicely, not as fast pace as leisure travel, but definitely we're about 70% of where we were in 2019 on the business front. Looking at international travel, we're about 10% of international travel for business, and we expect that to recover as well with everything else.
I think what's exciting, and as Paula and Aer Lingus have said, you can. Obviously, you want to go to Dublin, you want to see Ireland and all that, but you can stay. Say you have to go to Paris. You can go take this flight to Dublin, go around Ireland for a day or two, and then without any additional fees or anything, continue your trip on to Paris. And just the convenience and fun of that.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good point. There are about 320 passengers a day that travel from Cleveland and head to Europe. And a lot of the passengers that are going to take the Aer Lingus flight will definitely connect in Dublin to all the points that you mentioned. And it'll be quite convenient. The flight is timed to hit the bank, and really, through Dublin and on to Paris, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, you name it, you'll probably be able to get to the major cities. And this is where Clevelanders travel. The other side of this is that U.S. Customs and Border Protection has an office in Dublin. So all passengers coming back through Dublin or originating in Dublin back to Cleveland will clear customs, and once the aircraft lands in Cleveland, you're free to depart the aircraft and head home right from that point. No additional screening.
See, that's something. And of course, we're proud here in Cleveland because Aer Lingus there are many cities vying for this direct flight, and there was a process, and you and Ambassador Crawford and the mayor and council and a lot of companies and all worked hard to get this flight here. The Airlink, it's really a coup for Cleveland airport system.
No, absolutely. It was definitely a great feeling when we brought everything together. Air service development is something that that I spend most of my days on, actually knocking on the doors of current airlines, trying to get them to increase their service, knocking on the doors of airlines that don't currently serve Cleveland, and this is where Aer Lingus fit in. Had a meeting back with them in May. It was a big turning point, and then the project is handed over to the greater Cleveland community, and it was proud to see all the business entities, agencies, government agencies come together. We have Team NEO, we have Jobs Ohio, Destination Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, the city of Cleveland, and the airport itself has its own airport incentive program, airline incentive program as well. So, and Destination Cleveland, I don't want to forget about them because they're definitely going to be the ones that are going to be marketing Cleveland overseas and trying to entice customers to visit Cleveland and take the Aer Lingus flight.
And that's a great point. We think of us going to Europe, going to Ireland and Europe, but all the potential visitors coming here who maybe Cleveland isn't the first thought when they travel to the U.S., but now it could be because there's a direct flight.
No, absolutely. Cleveland has a lot to offer, the rock and roll capital of the world. Plus, we're in easy driving distance of a number of attractions, and so I know this definitely would be a great Midwest point for Europeans to touch base in and explore, Northeast Ohio, the Midwest, and beyond.
All right, so we're talking with John Hogan today of Cleveland Airport System, which is, of course, Hopkins and Burke. And congratulations on pulling this together, and keep it up, and hopefully we'll see you on a flight to Dublin soon.
Thanks for having us.